This is Dr. Tia. Welcome to Fish and Bread Church. Laughter. I'm not like many of the people I encounter every day. I think of myself as well studied, but I act dumb a lot so that people teach me more. I laugh a lot. It gets me into trouble because people think I'm happy. But it's a nervous reflex which masks sadness. I get sad at people, places, and things because of how they treat one another, and then, in turn, how they treat me. And even though I get disrespected a lot, it makes me very sad, but my reflex is to laugh about it. Someone must have prayed this for me because it happens quite often, and I don't mean for it to happen. It's involuntary. But I laugh at things which would normally make a typical human being weep and wail. I'm not like you. I think that many of the things that humans say during this time are so painful that they're comical. The avoidance of truth has become a mainstay. Truth is the only thing that I know heals a situation. It even heals a wound, but I digress. I don't consider myself to be an animal. I know as humans, we animals who protect our young, fend for our lives, defend our countries, and go home to our 2.2 member families. But as a Jewish woman, I have learned that we are human and we are not animals. I've also been taught that the Bible, which is very legalistic, is what you address when you want to stay human, and not the Quran, which is also legalistic. However, it addresses the needs of animals more than human beings. A Jew once taught me, we are not animals. I was at a point in my life where I needed an aha moment, and that was it. I was super grateful that someone just taught me that I was a human being and I was higher than other people. When I was a child, my father would teach me the same thing, but he would teach it in reverse. He would say, those creatures that don't know your name and want to laugh at you at school or make you lower than other people, places, or things are called lowlifes. They're lower life forms, and you shouldn't interact with them at all. He was a master at not saying anything, not even when people addressed him. He wouldn't say a word. And it worked. It worked in his favor because everybody knew him as the person that was the most silent. And for some reason, silence made him the winner. I recognize that the Bible says in 1 Timothy 2:11 and 12, it says, let a woman learn in silence with all submission. And it also says, and I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man, but to be in silence. I also agree with that notion, and I practice silence in my own marriage. It's hard sometimes because we have a rule that states I can come home and say anything I want to. In the Quran, in Miriam 19:26, it says, so eat and drink and put your heart at ease. But if you see any of the people, say, I have vowed silence to the most compassionate. So I'm not talking to anyone today. So I think to myself about silence is how cool. This is a new product for me. When I speak, I keep it brief, under 5 minutes, and I practice acting dumb. And I also practice active listening, which means repeating what someone says and reterming it so that you let them know that you understand them in your own words. Upon Wednesday, August 17th, 2022 at 11:41 p.m., the American Dictionary Merriam-Webster's American Dictionary stated that silence was a forbearance from speech or noise. It was muteness, often used interjectionally. So, as I would ask my children who are now all grown and off to college, my question is, how many situations do you know to be silent in?